welcome to or back to my channel called Frosty Rose. Today, with the help of my friend, linked to her channel in the description and in the top right corner of the screen, I'm going to teach you many C++ fundamentals. Today, we are going to do the first major thing when it comes to learning a programming language, the Hello World program. I am using Visual Studio to do this. So, this is Visual Studio. I just made a file, and to do that you're gonna open up Visual Studio. I only really use Visual Studio to make C++ coding, and I only use Visual Studio to do C++ coding. So you're gonna go into File and then click New, and then Project, because you're gonna make a project, and then Empty Project. Then in that empty project you're gonna click File, New, and then File, but I don't need to add a file because I've already got my file. And then you're gonna wanna, but when you do that file, you're gonna want to click Source Files, and then File, New, File, Visual C++, C++ file, and then you're gonna wanna open it. And now this should be here. But I don't know, did that just get that thing away? Okay. Yeah, but we're gonna go into this source C++ file that I've already made, and okay, you're actually gonna right click on this. I don't know what I'm doing anymore. But you're gonna click Add New Item, C++ file. You're gonna call it main, because main, I just like to call it main. You can call it whatever you want, just know that this is gonna be your main file, so that's why I call it main. And then you're gonna add it, and I'm going to delete this one because that one, I don't need it anymore. I just wanted to go through that process with you. Now that we have that, first we will add the processor to our code. The processor looks like this. Include, I like to talk when I'm doing this, I don't know why. And that is basically it for the processor. No, it's not. I'm sorry. That was not all of it, but so then you're going to click enter. Well, tap the button. I'm doing this on my computer. That's really all you can do, is it on your computer. So then you're going to well, this just adds the IOStream library to our code. Without it, everything would be a million times more difficult, because then you wouldn't, I don't think it's possible actually to code in C++ without a few libraries. You need libraries, or otherwise, these are actual C++ libraries that hold all the code. Now we can add using namespace std, so that instead of putting std in front of everything, our code can look neater and cleaner. So using namespace std. There. Did I spell this wrong? Yes, I do. I always spell things wrong. I just always spell things wrong. It's nothing that I can really change. I just spell things wrong all the time. But after that chunk of code, we could add a comment. Now, you don't have to add a comment, but comments are very useful, because then if anyone has to read your code, they can read the comment to see what each chunk of code does. So I'm just gonna add comments everywhere, because if you do this, then you're probably gonna actually be able to get a job. But if you don't do this, you're probably still gonna be able to get a job in programming. You don't need a job in programming. It'd be nice if you had a job in programming, because then, yeah, but, so I'm just gonna put a comment here that says libraries, or adds libraries. And then I'm gonna put another comment here saying, I don't know, saying, I'm thinking about what it should be. Maybe it should be, program code. I don't know. So, next, let's add a function. With C++, you have to have a function called main, and all of your main code in that function. Otherwise, your program will not run properly. I don't actually think it would run at all, but you could try it without a function called main. Like, that's my function. No, I'm just gonna call this function name and see if it works as a little test. Now you can already see that it looks like it's working. I'm gonna see if this actually works or it's just a little bit of a thing. But if this does not work, you're gonna wanna change this to main because that's always has to happen. But name. Inside of the function, you will have all of the code that will be in your program to make your program run properly and run in general. So you're first going to, you're just going to add count for, basically, if you know anything about like Python, then you usually would use print, and you would basically do this. And that's basically the end of your program. That's how you make a Hello World program in Python, but we're not going to do that. This is 10 times harder. And this is C++. There's everything. So you're going to do count. So think of count as like print, but a different word. But it basically does the same thing. And then you're going to put your greeting. I'm doing the normal one, hello world. And you're going to put more arrows. And then you're going to do end line. In functions, you have to end a line by saying end line. And I got confused by this, but this is an L, not an I. So it's end line, but instead of putting line, you just put L. And then to end a line, you always have to put this thing. But when you're doing like the print functions, you have to have end line at the end of it. But with everything else, you're not really going to do it unless you have to. It's a very difficult to explain. So sometimes you're going to have to do end line, and other times you're not going to have to do end line. But we're going to probably go over this next Tuesday. I don't know anymore at this point. But once you finish doing that, you have to end the program, type sin.get or cin.get with parentheses. So kind of like this, but without the int in front of it. So you're just going to do that, and see, I don't have to end line there, but you have to put this semicolon so that that's basically how you end the line with everything. But with this print thing, you have to end line with end line and semicolon. And now your program is done. Let's run it. The output should be the same as mine. So you're gonna wanna right click on this greeting thing. So right here, right where my mouse is, you're gonna right click and then click build. Now, see, name, you can't use name, you have to actually have main. So there we go. Now if I rebuild it, there should be no issues found. And now I have it as local Windows debugger. If you don't see that, just click local Windows debugger there and you should find it. And now you're gonna click that, and this should be your output. Unless you can't see it. 1 second. Let me add something, because I forgot to add. Okay, 1 second. It's on, but it's not seeable. Oh gosh. I don't know, do you see anything? I don't know. So I have this now, this little box, and I want it to look like this, but I don't think it's showing the words. Anyways, hello world. It should say hello world on your terminal, but for me it's just not wanting to do that. Alright, so that should be what it looks like, just not that way. Alright. And if it's not that, if it does not say hello world, go over your code, and if you're still having problems, ask me in the comment section. Anyways, that is the end of the video. If you had fun and learned anything, please like and subscribe, but don't forget to ring the bell. Have a nice day. Bye.